Here's a terrifying statistic. Every month, over 500 million people accidentally land on fake websites designed to steal their data, all because of simple typing mistakes.
That's such a shocking number, and it really shows how these cybercriminals are playing a numbers game. They know most people will notice something's wrong, but they only need a tiny percentage to fall for it.
What's fascinating is how sophisticated these attacks have become. We're not just talking about swapping an O for a zero anymore. These scammers are using artificial intelligence to generate domains that look completely legitimate. What really gets me is how they time these attacks around major shopping events. For example, during last year's Black Friday, typo-squatting attempts increased by over 300%. Wow! Welcome to Technically You, where we break down complex tech topics into bite-sized, digestible pieces. Today, we're diving into a cyber scam so sneaky it preys on the smallest of mistakes. Typosquatting, also known as URL hijacking. Ever mistyped a website and ended up somewhere weird? Well, that weird site might be trying to steal your data, install malware, or worse.
That's right. Today we'll cover what typosquatting is, how hackers use it, what fake sites look like, and, most importantly, how you can protect yourself. Oh, and if you've ever accidentally visited Google instead of Google, yeah, you might have been a target.
So, we need to know how these scams work. Let's examine a recent case. A major bank lost nearly $2 million when an employee accidentally typed their internal domain wrong, just one extra letter in the email address.
Oh, wow. And I'm guessing the fake site looked identical to the real one?
Exactly. They had everything: same logos, same layout, even a functioning customer service chat. The scary part? It took weeks before anyone realized what had happened. These scammers are basically digital chameleons.
Well, that's terrifying. And they're using some pretty clever technical tricks too, right?
That's what's so fascinating. They're using international character sets that look identical to English letters, but are technically different. Like using a Cyrillic A instead of a Latin A. Your eyes literally can't tell the difference.
So if we're talking about protection, what's actually working? Because it seems like traditional security measures aren't enough anymore.
Well, here's what's interesting. The most effective protection isn't high-tech at all. It's about changing behavior. Password managers, for example, reduce typo-squatting success rates by 86% because they simply won't autofill credentials on fake sites. Also, if you visit your site from an earlier bookmark, there's no chance of mistyping it. Chrome, Firefox, and Edge all have phishing detection. Use them.
That's such a simple but effective solution. What about those DNS security tools?
Right. Those are becoming increasingly important. Modern DNS security tools can block known typosquatting domains automatically. But here's the catch. They need to be constantly updated because scammers are registering new domains every single day.
And I've heard these fake sites can actually detect when security researchers are investigating them.
Oh yeah, that's one of their most sophisticated tricks. These sites use advanced code that displays different content based on who visits. If they detect a security researcher's IP address, they'll display a harmless page. But for regular users, that's when the trap springs.
That level of sophistication is just mind-blowing. How do regular people even stand a chance?
Well, here's what's really interesting about the demographics. Young, tech-savvy users are actually more vulnerable than older ones. They type faster, check URLs less carefully, and are more likely to multitask while browsing.
That completely challenges what most people assume about who's at risk.
Exactly. And it gets even more interesting when you look at the financial impact. While the average individual loses about $2,000 in a successful attack, businesses are losing an average of $200,000 per incident.
Those numbers are staggering. What do you see as the future of this threat?
So here's what's keeping security experts up at night. Artificial intelligence is making these attacks even more sophisticated. We're seeing AI-generated domains that can adapt in real time, creating URLs that are practically impossible to distinguish from legitimate ones.
That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's happening right now.
And you know what's really concerning? The rise of voice-activated browsing. When people say, Go to Amazon. Instead of typing it, scammers register domains that sound similar but are spelled differently. It's like typosquatting for the voice assistant era. Well, that's definitely something we need to be aware of. Do you have any other thoughts on protecting ourselves? Watch out for pop-ups and weird login requests. If a site suddenly asks for extra details, like your social security number or PIN, it's a trap.
All right, so let's say you do get tricked. What now?
First, don't panic, but act fast. Change your passwords as soon as possible, especially if you use the same password on other sites. Big no-no. Check your bank statements. Look for weird charges and call your bank if anything seems off. Enable two-factor authentication 2FA. This way, even if someone steals your password, they can't access your account without your phone or security key. Report the site. Browsers like Chrome let you report phishing sites. Help protect others. Finally, run a malware scan. If you clicked a shady link, scan your device with antivirus software to make sure nothing's lurking in the background.
Sounds great. Now let's wrap this up.
Okay, here are the key takeaways. Slow down, use password managers, and trust your instincts if a website seems suspicious. The few seconds it takes to double-check a URL could save you thousands of dollars and countless headaches. Most importantly, keep learning because these threats are constantly evolving.
That's such valuable advice. Thank you all for joining us for this eye-opening discussion about the hidden dangers of typosquatting. If you learned something new, or just want to hear us nerd out about more cybersecurity scams, subscribe and follow. And remember, think before you click.
Stay safe and stay curious. See you next time.